Hey, what's up guys? Rideshare guy here, and today I've got a video for you about are Uber passengers still insured if you end the trip early? So ending a trip early is actually a strategy some drivers might use when they make a mistake or if they feel like the passenger isn't happy with the ride. And basically you want to give them a little savings or kind of like a little bit of a show of good faith, right? If you're going along and, maybe you're a minute or two out or a few blocks out, you tell them, hey, I'm going to end this trip early. Sorry for making that wrong left turn, or hey, I can see that you're pissed or something like that. I'm going to end the trip. And obviously it doesn't cost you a lot. It might only cost you a few cents, but it's kind of more of like a show of good faith. And the other thing that I really like about this strategy is that when you do it, the rating screen comes up, right? And if the passenger actually sees you physically rate them 5 stars, then I think that they're going to be a lot more likely to rate you 5 stars. So it's kind of, those are kind of a couple examples of when you might use it. But one of the questions that I always get asked is what happens to your insurance if you end the trip, right? Are the passengers still covered? And this was a question brought up. There's a strategy around this that we talk about in the Maximum Ride Sharing Profits video training course. And a couple of people asked about this. Hey, what happens if you end this trip early, right? Aren't they no longer on insurance? And is the passenger still covered? So I'm going to cover that today. And basically, I'm going to clear this up because this strategy can definitely be helpful in a lot of certain situations, kind of like what we described. And in short, the passenger is still covered. So I'm going to leave a link below to Uber's official insurance policy, their blog post. You guys can check it out. And if you go over there and you look and you see on Uber's actual insurance policy, you can see that it states the period 3, $1 million of liability insurance provided to you starts when the rider enters the vehicle and stops when the rider exits the vehicle, right? There's nothing in that insurance policy that says anything about starting or ending the trip. So that's how you know that this strategy, if you end trip early, the passenger is still covered. So you really don't have to worry about that type of insurance liability or risk in that sense during that time, right? So I think that this is a pretty good strategy. And, a couple people brought up there might be some risk with that. So I just wanted to clear that up. And obviously you can contact customer service to confirm. Beware, though, that whenever you email customer service, they don't always know what they're talking about, and I've definitely gotten answers from them that were wrong. I actually emailed them about this very issue 6 or 7 months ago, and they told me that there wasn't any insurance, which is what made me look into it in the first place, because I was just thinking to myself, there's no way that's right. There's no way that could be right. I mean, Uber is a very passenger-centric and passenger-friendly company. I can't imagine that they're not providing insurance for the passenger, because that's what $1 million in liability coverage does. It's basically for the passenger, right? And I couldn't imagine that they weren't providing that type of coverage if for whatever reason the trip ended early or if the trip was canceled. So now that it's not until they exit the vehicle where the coverage ends. And so I actually reached out to customer service again and confirmed this with them, escalated it to a manager just to double check. And so I think now they've kind of been educated that this strategy, if drivers are ending the trip early, that they're telling drivers, hey, you're okay. Passengers still going to be covered by insurance until they exit the vehicle. So hopefully this clears things up for you guys. If you guys have really any questions about insurance or haven't really looked into rideshare insurance options yet, there are some things that you need to know. And we have kind of a full guide for drivers. And also we have a bunch of agents to by state, because that's kind of the confusing thing, that a lot of these insurance options, you might be able to get Geico in Texas, or you might be able to get Farmers in California. But if you're living in some other state, those options may not be available. So we created a database that basically sorts all of your options by state. And then we have a couple recommended agents who you can call if you have any type of questions or if you just want to get a quote. So definitely check that out. I'll leave a link below in the show notes, and you can go to our rideshare insurance options page and get that information. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. All right, talk to you guys soon. Take care.